On June 23, 1985, Air India Flight 182 took off from Toronto, Canada, destined for Mumbai. This Boeing 747, named Kanishk after an emperor, made several stops, starting with Montreal, where Canadian officials searched the aircraft and found 3 suspicious packages before heading to London. Unfortunately, Flight 182 never reached London. About 45 minutes before it was due to arrive, it disappeared from radar without any communication or distress signals. The last known location was just off the Irish coast. Emergency crews later discovered debris, indicating that an explosion had caused the plane to disintegrate midair. All 329 people on board perished, though only 131 bodies were recovered. Canada suspected Khalistani involvement, particularly after the 1984 Operation Blue Star, where the Indian Army stormed the Golden Temple, killing Khalistani militants. This led to the belief that the bombing was an act of revenge. However, only one person was convicted in connection with the attack, while the mastermind was never brought to justice. Questions arose about how Canadian intelligence failed to foresee the attack, how explosives got onto the plane, and why the terrorists evaded capture. The plot was spearheaded by Talvinder Singh Parmar, a Khalistani terrorist who had immigrated to Canada in the 1970s. In 1985, fueled by a desire for revenge, he targeted Air India. He enlisted the help of Inderjit Singh Riat, a car mechanic, to create the bombs. Despite several warnings and opportunities to prevent the attack, Canadian intelligence failed to act on critical information. An anonymous passenger, likely using a false identity, managed to check in a bomb-laden bag without ever boarding the flight. Security measures at Canadian airports were lacking, allowing the bomb to be loaded onto the plane. When it exploded near Ireland, it resulted in devastating loss of life. A second bomb intended for another Air India flight detonated prematurely in Japan, killing 2 baggage handlers. In the aftermath, Canada struggled to respond effectively. Families of the victims were left unsupported, and the investigation was plagued by missteps. While some individuals were charged, the lack of evidence led to minimal convictions. The trial became the most expensive in Canadian history, dragging on for 2 decades, yet only one person faced serious consequences. In the end, Canada faced criticism for its failures, including the handling of intelligence that indicated a potential threat to Air India flights. The perception that the attack was primarily an Indian issue due to the victims' origins complicated the response. It wasn't until 2010 that Canada acknowledged its mistakes, but the ideological roots of the attack remain relevant today. The Kanishk bombing serves as a stark reminder that terrorism knows no borders, a lesson that continues to resonate.